Cuties, I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is Days of Our Lives edition. Today is Monday, May the 23rd, 2022. And let's just get right into this. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this like a 7. It wasn't that entertaining to me today, as far as, it wasn't. There were certain moments, but I think certain people they're gonna have to build their storylines again and their characters again without it being influenced by just the devil. So speaking of that, let's go right into Trip and Allie. Now, I do like Trip. I honestly, he's one of my favorite characters on this soap. I enjoy watching him, but he just tells Allie, I'm not gonna hold you long on this. He just tells Allie, listen, you don't really want me. Like, you wanted that all she just wanted that perfect little family that you see on the TVs and all that. He and the man and the woman maybe have kids, a dog, that kind of thing. He said, but because it's easy, I was the easy choice for you. And he says, you know, Chanel was hard because that would admit that you were bisexual and all that, and you didn't want to have to admit that. So Chanel is who you really want to be with, but that was a hard choice for you to make. So I was the easy choice, and that's why you're with me, and that's why you're like, you could make this choice right now to try to be with me. And he tells her, I love you, but I don't want that. He said, and she says, well, I love you. And she tells him, it's not that. He says, I saw you when Chanel came in here. You glowed. You were happy. And she said, it's just that we hadn't seen each other and all that. And he said, no, it's more than that. And she doesn't want to admit it, but it is more than that. And so because of that, he just tells her, if you love me the way you say you do, let me go so I can find someone who's going to love me the way I should be loved. And I was like, you know what, Trip, you better know your worth, because that's exactly what it is. And so they break up. So while this is going on, Johnny is sitting here being a pick me. Chanel got Johnny being a pick me because he said, I know you have feelings for Allie, and I know all this is went on or whatever, but we were happy before I became the devil, and I love you. And she's telling him, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait. I'm saying, what, sir? No, like, don't allow her to treat you this way. And so she tells him, I love you, but I love Allie, but I also love you. So I just need you to wait on me to. And I said, wait on you to do what? To decide if you want him or Allie? Because that's what it sounded like. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. So then Allie sees this or whatever, and she goes up to them, and she's all emotional, crying, and I'm not gonna hold you long on this, I told you. And she goes up to them all emotional, crying, and tells them, we just broke up. So now Johnny's like, oh, because Chanel was sure that Allie and Trip were going to get back together, but they would have had Trip not said, you know what, I know my worth, and you're not going to treat me any kind of way. And so now this changes things, and Chanel is like, I gotta go do something, and so I'm gonna go. And so she leaves, and so that leaves Allie and Johnny just looking at each other, you know, like, that's the woman we both love walking on the elevator right now. I said, this is a mess. Y'all finna make this a wholehearted mess, because Johnny and Allie, you can tell them just talking right there. They're real, I guess, sweet, or they're brother and sister. It was a mess from the beginning, because Chanel should have never went with Allie in the first place, because you was married to her brother, ma'am. Like, and I hate that they make Chanel this airhead. Like, she's just such an airhead to me. She's just a pretty little airhead. But she is a pretty little girl. Look like a little Barbie doll and everything. All right, so moving right along from that, because I mean, I'm not gonna hold you, this finna just be a mess. She gonna have to decide which one she want. But we all know how soap operas go. So whoever she choose, you're the loser, because you're gonna get them cheating with you with the other one. So we all know how this go. So let's move right along. Okay, so then we go. Okay, before I get to that, we're gonna talk about Kristen gonna interrupt this meeting, because Chad and EJ thought they had this wrapped. And so Kristen gonna talk about, so what do you mean if I vote and I vote for Gabby, then the vote is null? And Shane was like, yes, 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 it is. I said, and so EJ said, "Why would you do that?" And Krista said, "Then you leave me to rot in a jail cell, and on top of that, you sent the lawyer down. You didn't even come and assist me, your own sister." And then Chad is like, "Okay, I get why you hate EJ." And EJ was like, "Dang." He was like, "But what about me? You look what you did to my wife and all that." And Krista said, "I gave her a little break. I gave her a little vacation, ma'am. No, you didn't, ma'am." Anyways, moving right along, Kristen votes for Gabby, so the vote is null and voided. So EJ and Chad cannot be CEOs of Demira Enterprise or whatever. And then, Gabby all happy. EJ and Chad like, you ain't seen the last of us or whatever. So they walk out. And then Jake embarrassed this. Y'all know I like Jake. I said, "Boy, you embarrassing me. This girl already told you she had plans later on tonight that did not include you. They were for Shin." And so they like, "Let's go celebrate, get some drinks or whatever." Jake said, "Sounds good to me." And she said, uh-uh. Remember, you said you wanted to be friends. You wanted to keep it professional. You didn't want no romantic relationship and all that. And I said, "Y'all really saying this in front of this man? Y'all really having this conversation in front of this man?" And they said, "Yes, we are." I said, "Okay." So they said, "We're going to be, you wanted to keep it professional. And that's exactly what we're going to do." And so Jake's standing there looking stuck. I said, "Sir, what you're not gonna do is play with my girl Ava, because just yesterday you was trying to go to the back to your place, above the garage with Ava, and do some things. So now you sitting here all jealous and stuff with Gabby. Leave Ava alone, Jake. Get your mind where it should be, because what you're not gonna do is play with Ava." But anyway, so he all like in his feelings or whatever. He was like, "Oh yeah, no, it's cool, y'all go." No, it's not. So he working and stuff, right? And he get a phone call from okay, before that, so Gabby and Sheehan go out, and he said it looked like Jake a little bit jealous, or he was thinking something. And she said, "Oh, he just don't like to lose or whatever." But she said, "I'm a free woman, I'm available." And Sheehan says, "Okay." And she says, "I didn't know you was gonna drink cosmopolitan." He says, "I'm comfortable in my masculinity." Exactly. And he said, "So I drink what I want to drink. I move the way I want to move or whatever." And so once she confirmed to him that Jake, whatever was going on between them, is not going on, he said, "All right then." And I said, "Well, that don't mean y'all two." She said, "But we don't work together like that. I don't see you every day." All right, girl. So then, I don't trust it. I don't trust it, because then we see Kristen calls Jake, right? Because he's still at the office, and he told her half the people went to celebrate, the other half went to probably drink their sorrows away. When she says, "I know," he said, "How you know?" She said, "Don't worry about it." But then she says, "We're family, right?" And all that. And he was like, "Kristen, what you want?" And she said, "What? I just tell him we're family and stuff." And he said, "No, but you want something. What is it?" And she said, "Well, he said, you want me to say thank you?" And she said, "No, I don't like thank you in words. I like thank you in actions." And he said, "Well, he told her again, so what does you want me to do?" And she said, "Gabby is the CEO right now, but she's not a Demera. That's us, or close to it. That's us or whatever. So yeah, she's not gonna hold that seat for long or whatever." That's what I heard. That she's not gonna hold that seat for long. Kristen doing this because she got something up her sleeve. I said, "It's Kristen." I mean, it's Kristen. Now, I thought it was funny that she did say, when Gabby said Ava, and he said, "Mafia? From the Mafia family?" And she said, "Yes." I don't know. I might be overthinking this, but I think Ava finna play a part in this as well. Um, I have no idea. I have no clue, but I think Ava finna play a part in whatever Kristen about to do to try to get Jake or herself, or both of them, as co-CEOs and get Gabby out of there. But anyways, that's all for that. So then we go to my storyline right here. Cause this girl is a mess. So Jan is all up in the Jan and Belle are going at it, because Jan told Belle, "I want to turn your office into a nursery." Now, Jan, in her delusional mind, believes that I'm gonna drop this baby and then I'm gonna be staying here. I said, girl, I thought you was going back to prison once you had a baby. Like, you're not gonna even be able to raise your baby. So then Sean come in when they argue and he said, what's going on? Sean working my nerves too. Talking about what's going on. And so Ava's like, she oversteps boundaries. That's what's going on. Talking about she gonna turn my office into a nursery. And Sean said, Jan, now you know you can't do this. Like, what are you doing? Or whatever. And Jan said, well, listen, I gotta have somewhere for this baby to go after I had this baby. And he said, well, there's other places. She said, okay, okay, I got it. I got it. I know what we can do. This girl gonna say, how about we put the baby in the nursery, Belle be somewhere, and then I room in y'all in your room or whatever. And Belle said, I think not. You're not finna be in. I said, now, Jan, you know you just saying stuff to get on Belle's nerves. But it worked because she just hitting Belle's spots as far as just needling her, and poking the bear and all that. And Belle finally, she just blow up. She started going off on Jan or whatever. I said, watch this girl. And then Jan said, the baby. And here goes Sean. Oh God. And she said, I gotta go to the hospital. He said, you want to just go lay down? She said, no, I gotta go to the hospital. Just said, I gotta go to the hospital. So she goes to the hospital or wherever. And Belle go in there. She said, oh, I'm just so worried because they're in the hospital now. I'm just so worried. So Belle goes in there, right? And Belle is like, how's the baby? And she said, like you would care. And Bella, Belle did feel bad because, she don't want nothing to happen to the baby or whatever. But see, Jane got upset because Belle said, girl, you going to prison. You're not raising this baby. I'm going to raise this baby with Sean and you won't even see your baby. It's the truth, though. If that's how, if that were real, that's how it would turn out. But y'all know this is soap operas and Jen is not going back to prison. And so Belle is just like, oh my gosh, I didn't want anything to happen to the baby. And so Jen said, Sean, get her out of here. I can't deal. And so Sean said, Belle, and Belle said, you know what? You ain't even got to say it. You don't. I'm leaving. And he said, no. What I was gonna say is, let's go get some coffee and talk. And she said, nah, you stay here with your baby. I got other stuff to do. And then here go Jan when Belle leaves out and Sean's back is turned. She's smiling and smugly and all that kind of stuff. So I said, I knew it. I knew wasn't nothing wrong with you. So Sean gets Jan home, and when he leave or whatever, because she says, I can't be stressed. He was like, ain't nobody gonna stress you. And so when he leave out or whatever, she gonna kick up her feet and lay on back. I said, I knew it wasn't nothing wrong with you, and you should be ashamed doing that, because she tried to say it was the stress from Belle that made her cramp, but they told her, nah, when you get this far along, you do start cramping because you're expanding and all that kind of stuff for the baby and all that, but you can't tell. Uh, Sean has really gotten on my nerves in this storyline. To be quite honest with you, it's like you need to put your foot down sometimes with Jan. Like you see, she's clearly bothering your wife, and Belle be working my nerves too. But on this part, Sean, put your foot down, and you would have a happy, well, almost happy life with your wife, but you won't. So then Belle goes over to EJ because she want to hear the good news that they got the company back, that he's CEO and stuff. And she said, "Is that a celebratory drink?" And he said, "No, it's not." He told her about Kristen, and she told him, "Well, that's what Jan did to me today." So he said, "Want to talk about it?" She said, "No, just give me a double, whatever you drinking, and let's just sit down and wallow in our sadness." And that's exactly what they did, and that was Days of Our Lives, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Even if you don't subscribe, it's okay. I'm still going to be doing these videos, but please hit that like button for me. All right. I will see you tomorrow with a new episode.